Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Another Thursday night in the Riverbend, another Riverbend Talent on the Big Z. Brought to you by Mr. Matt Van Voris of Macias Insurance and by Halpin Music Company, as Lydia just mentioned. Underway already, the Sea Shanty Sing-Along down at Morrison's Irish Pub until 9. Everhart and Light doing their residency down at Shea, Maryland, I guess, tonight from 7 to 9. Across the line, 6 to 10 at Fast Eddie's tonight. And Graham Pagano up there at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville until 9 o'clock. We've got the Speed Demons Car Cruise happening in Bunker Hill tonight at Red's Tavern, Sage House, and the Chaser Band playing from 5 to 9. We got Blake Foltz underway already at Big Daddy's until 8 o'clock in Edwardsville, and Ryan Holtzing already underway at the Cabin at Judy Creek. And Glenn Carbon, the Pete Krieshock Project, doing the mill tonight at 6:30. We talked to them recently about that, and the House Shakers are back in action down at Tegan's. They got underway at 6 o'clock. The Fry Project already underway out at Prairie Inn in Dorsey, and that is what we have on our list for Thursday night. But I still need to mention that Rock the Hops is August 9th, and they're looking for venues and artists and sponsors, and you can get early bird tickets. And so now's the time to contact rockthehopsalton.com. and get involved with that if you want to get your band involved. And speaking of looking for musicians, check this out. Looking for local musical talent at Bubby and Sissy's in Alton. So they're going to do some music now. And you need to email them only, although it was hilarious when I seen this on the Facebook page. Everyone posted in the comments. But it stresses email only and include your performer name, maybe some clips, what you expect to get paid. And they're looking for May, June, and July at Bubby and Sissy's. And you have to be okay to playing outdoors. The email is bubbyandsissys@gmail.com. And with that, we turn it over to the star of the show, the legendary, no, not the legendary one. He passed away a long time ago. The guy who stole his name.
the guy who stole the name of the infamous Pigpen.
Right. His name's Sean Copeland. We know him as Scrap.
Sir Pigius Pineus is my given name. I don't know.
He makes up his own nicknames.
I got to keep them guessing, man. They would have tracked me down long ago if I didn't change names.
All right. You got to have aliases.
Aliases? Yeah, lots of them. Not to mention, allies.
And, and just in case you're wondering, Pigpen is not talking to himself back and forth. That other voice you hear is Mark Rice, who is our guest tonight.
I didn't even hear the other voice. I was totally talking to myself. Mark Rice, and just last week we had Porch Cafe in, was it? Was that last week? Yeah, and Preston was on.
Why are you asking me? You were here.
I don't remember because you usually know. You usually remember what happened last week, and I don't
remember what happened yesterday.
I'm trying to remember what I'm doing here.
That wouldn't be a joke, so I wasn't about to give in. I mean,
but we one of the newest member of Porch Cafe, Preston, used to be in the Intrusion, and the first time we had Mark in the studio, I believe you were. You weren't playing with the Intrusion, but you were sort of managing them and running sound with them and giving the kids a start.
Yep.
And you got some kin in that band? Is that what got you started? Was it
Preston, he's my nephew.
Preston is your nephew.
And Ashton is a brother.
Nice. I couldn't remember the whole story because again I don't remember what we're doing here.
I feel half the same way.
No, that was cool. That right off the bat, that was cool to me. That it's always nice when the young bands have someone to kind of give them a leg up, to help out with equipment and help, show them the ropes.
I never had anybody do that for me, but it was cool to be able to do that.
Right, you know.
And they could play some really cool stuff, and I was kind of impressed. And it was like they didn't have anything, so I had another PA system. So I was like, hey, use this.
Yeah, yeah. And
so kind of get
again,
them on that. And
can you imagine being their age and someone just saying, here's a PA system, or here's a guitar amp, or anything?
well, that's kind of like me. I started when I was 9, and I started my first band at 10.
So
fifth grade.
so you started playing at 9. Playing, what was your first instrument?
Guitar.
So you started on guitar. A lot of people start on drums when they're little, and then because anything can be a drum. Pots, pans,
right?
The cat, whatever. I don't know.
I played all of them.
right. So your first git fiddle, age of 9.
Yep.
Was you seeking after it? Was it a gift? How did that come about?
At the age of 5, my uncle gave me a guitar, and I drug it around for 4 years, and then finally decided I want to learn how to play it.
Okay, so you have an uncle give you like an acoustic guitar, and you kept it around, but didn't really.
Right,
It
just kind
didn't
of drug
hit
it
you.
around, plucked on it, And
Yeah.
9 years old, there was a guy that worked for my dad. He played, and he started showing me some stuff. And the neighbor, she had played, and so she started showing me stuff, and that's kind of where it all started.
Off and running you go.
Is that way down yonder in Tennessee?
No, this was in northern Illinois, up in
Okay.
a little town called Coe City,
Yeah.
outside of Morris, Illinois.
Okay, I know where Morris is. Yeah,
Oh, man, there you go. Up north.
he's a northerner that became a southerner, and then moved back to the Midwest.
Yeah, exactly. Originally from Tennessee. It's like, what are you doing
This
here?
city's too cold. This city's too hot. This city's just right. Right here where the river bends, things are just weird enough to keep it interesting.
Boy, ain't it?
So
That's the only place I know of you can have, 80 degrees and then tornadoes and snow in 3 days.
Oh yeah.
If you get bored with the weather, just wait.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on, yeah. Yeah. So, age 9, you decide to start you start learning something
Right.
from your dad's buddy and from your neighbor.
Right.
And by 10, you have the confidence that you are ready for the Ed Sullivan Show, just like
Right.
the Beatles.
Absolutely.
All those visions you had in your mind plucking all those years are now to come true.
Yeah, and I'm still not doing it.
Right.
I've still never met the Ed Sullivan Show.
In my mind, I have. And that joke comes out of almost everybody says seeing the Beatles sent them.
Right.
If they were playing an acoustic before that, they weren't anymore. and a lot of them, if they weren't playing, they, suddenly they were.
Right.
So at 10, you decide you're going to start a band. Now, at 10, how many friends did you have that actually played and owned instruments?
2.
2. That's enough for a band.
There was a drummer and a bass player.
Bingo.
And
That's
then I
all.
had my best friend, his name was Tim, and he got me into all kinds of this crazy stuff, like playing in bars at 9 years old.
So you're up. What was it? Coast City.
Yeah.
You're up in Coast City. You're 10 years old. You and your best friend. What was his name? Tim.
Tim.
You and your best friend Tim. And who's the other? Who's the bass player?
The bass player and the drummer, I can't remember their name. My best friend was Tim. He didn't play or sing.
Oh, he didn't play or sing. He just
was
drugged you into antics.
Yeah, he was the instigator. I was kind of like, okay, let's do it.
You remember the name of that band?
I don't even know if we had one. I really don't. We only knew one song, and that was House of the Rising Sun. And there was some kind of event going on at school where all the parents were there and all the kids were there, and they had us down there at center court.
Yeah.
My buddy Tim, he's like, I want to be in the band. I was like, you don't know how to play or sing. He said, I know. He says, I just want to be up there with you. So what we done is we put him on a dead amp and a dead guitar and a dead mic, and the deal was, as soon as it was over, you got to quit the band. So that's what happened.
That night he met his wife.
I need to know. Yeah, did he get a date out of that?
Well, he just wanted to have his, 3 minutes of fame or whatever.
yeah.
He's my best friend, so I was like, okay, let me help you out.
He had all the girls looking at him for that 15 for that one song, man.
Right. Exactly.
He had one foot on the platform.
Right. Yeah.
So that's hilarious. And as you're saying that, like as I asked about the name, you're like, we don't have one. I'm thinking they must have been called "We're Gonna Be Sixth Graders" or soon to be sixth graders.
I think it was one of those things we were working on it while we were working on song, but it was only about 3 months after that we ended up having to move, and they kind of just diminished that band. So I was like,
Yeah, and I do remember in sixth grade where they would have those talent shows and stuff where you only had to know Louie, and you didn't have to know it good, but you can get up and do it.
All you have to do is get up and do it.
You just got to have the gumption to get up and do it. It doesn't have to be good. Yeah, that was one of my first early performances. Was doing that. Doing those sort of middle school shows, sixth grade, seventh grade, whatever it was. Right. So there you go, man. Once you moved down to Tennessee from there?
Yeah, we did move to Tennessee and then to Florida and then back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Back to I hear you.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, moved back to Illinois again and went through high school. And before I finished high school, I moved back to Tennessee and I quit school and joined the military.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So first of all, Florida's where you go when you've been kicked out of every other state's what I know.
I hear you. It's hot, it's humid, a lot of big bugs.
So
It's a good place for smugglers, so.
it is. It is a great place to catch some square gropers.
You want to start that? That's a good place.
So I do spend some time down there, in the Keys and stuff. It's sort of an island feel, but yeah, if you're in the middle of Florida,
I was in Okeechobee.
Yeah, where's that?
Down, that big lake down at the bottom?
Okay, yeah. That's getting down there in the Skeeter country.
Oh, yeah. Big ones. Alligators shot them off.
So during all that Tennessee, Florida, riding around, any more bands going on in that time?
No, basically I just was kind of learning a little bit here or there, kind of got into some gospel and some bluegrass, and my grandfather, he was a fiddle player, and so he kind of turned me toward that bluegrass.
Yeah, nice.
And then
Fiddle player from Georgia, by any chance?
No, he's actually from Sparta, Tennessee, and that's where Lester Flatt was from.
Oh, okay.
Lester Flatt used to play together before Lester Flatt became Lester Flatt.
Right.
Yeah.
When he was just Les.
Yeah.
Right.
He was just Ronnie's kid or something. There's Les. That's Ronnie's boy. He's pretty good on the fiddle.
No, yeah, he is. Yeah. Actually, he was a guitar player. My grandfather, he was a fiddle player.
He was the fiddle player, yeah. That's who I was picturing.
Oh, okay.
I got my stories all confused in there. Yeah, I forget who I'm talking about. I was thinking of Vassar Clemens the whole time. No, yeah,
So it was mid 80s when you got up here and started a real band?
Actually, it was probably about the mid 80s. We'd started this group down here in Alton, some other friends, and had this cat that could sing Rush. And we were doing Rush and Journey and stuff like that. We had 3 sets put together, and he moved to Florida.
Oh, man.
Did that Florida thing again.
He must have got caught doing something.
And that just ended all that, because none of us could sing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So we started something else, and it didn't work out. So I just kind of went on my own.
Yeah.
And done about 4 years of solo gigs, and moved to Knoxville, Tennessee back in '99, and then 2000, I think it was about 2004, hooked up with a bass player down there, and we were together for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
We played all over Knoxville. Yeah, it was a great time. Good music scene down there at that time.
What was the group you told me about earlier with Danny Jones?
What's that?
The group you started with Danny Jones?
Oh, Danny Jones, that was Wild Nights.
Wild Nights.
He already had the band together.
Okay.
And he was needing another guitar player, and so I jumped in there and hung with those guys for probably 6 months, somewhere around there.
Doing some Van Morrison.
No.
Oh, as soon as you said Wild Nights, I pictured Van Morrison song Wild Nights.
That was the theme song, actually. Yeah, it was kind of funny.
So, about what time of what years
probably
was it?
Be 87.
87.
And then 88, I kind of started doing my own solo thing again, and then I hooked up with bass player Dave Woods. I can't remember who he was playing with at the time, but he plays with Rum Boogie now.
Okay.
Oh,
and
nice.
We played together off and on for about 4 years, and duos, a lot of stuff like that. And then I found a female vocalist, and we started this thing, and Now it's Mark and the Angry Heart. I'm Mark, by the way.
Well, we know who the Angry Heart is.
Yeah, you got that right.
Oh.
I know everybody. It's because she's short.
It's the Napoleon syndrome.
I think that group played Trinity River Fest, if I'm not mistaken, or
We
was
played
it Bush
the,
Fest?
Art Expo.
Oh, the Art Expo. Seems like one of those festivals out at the VFW, Mark and the Angry
Oh, we
Hearts.
played a benefit out there.
Okay.
We didn't do any of the. We got a benefit coming up June 6th for. Let's see, what is that? The World War II Veterans Memorial. It's a fundraiser.
All right.
Is that the one in Grafton?
It's going to be at it's going to be up there at the American Legion.
Right, where they got the guys like climbing the wall or the bluff up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some sketches of it. Looks like it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's June 6th. Where's the fundraiser taking place?
It's going to be at the American Legion.
Oh, it's okay. Right there where they're gonna.
I think that's where they're planning on, but I'm really not sure exactly where that's all going. But yeah, we're starting at 5:30 to 7:30, and then Jake Weber and the Lonesome Drifters are going on from 7:30 to 9:30. So
Nice.
yeah, those guys are up too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You ever, Dustin Greer.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah.
I haven't seen him for years, but I go
what a
back with that
picker.
cat. Yeah.
What a picker.
Oh yeah. He's always been one of those, just a shredder, man.
Oh, blows my mind.
Yeah, and isn't it great though when you see somebody, especially if you're unaware, like if you're walking in to see a hero and you're like, well, I can't wait to see this. You're kind of you have great expectations, as Charles Dickens would say.
Right.
It's enough Dickens for the night. So anyway, I love it whenever I go see a musician, whether it's a big show or local, whatever, and they,
and shred it.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about bluegrass, right out here in Godfrey. First time I saw Del McCurry play was out here in Godfrey, and I went. His whole family band, like everybody in that band is just so stupidly good. It makes you sit there in awe and then go, why do I even play? What am I doing? Why am I trying?
Well, we've been mentioning your name quite a bit with this open mic you've been doing at the VFW Farm in Brighton.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun out there. We've got a lot of musicians been coming out. It's not a real big place. Most people don't even know where it's at.
Right.
Yeah. So let's get down to that right off the bat, because as soon as people hear Brighton, I mean, that could be the far side of Brighton, and it makes it seem like, well, I'm going to drive. This is barely out of Godfrey. I mean, it is
it's in between Brighton and Godfrey.
It is right on the edge there. So if you take,
it's right on the it's on the line.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's right on the line of, like, it's just over the line from Godfrey into Brighton, I think. So
no, actually, it's in Madison County.
It's in Madison County. Yeah. There you go. So it's you take Humbert Road.
You take Humbert Road all the way up past where the old racetrack used to be, and then you go all the way up towards a little town, or a little subdivision called David Acres, and up to Voorhees. Hang a right on Voorhees, go down about 3/4 mile, and there's a sign out there, VFW Farm.
And so there, I'm trying to think of the name of there's the little subdivision you go past there with Saturn and Mercury and all the planets. Your buddy Norris lives over there.
Mike Norris, with him up there quite a bit.
Speaking of good guitar players.
We'll call it the Planet Subdivision.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on the name, but it's literally a few minutes past that, So I'd say like 3 or 4 minutes past Bakers and Hale, kind of. I mean, it's really not that far out. You don't really have to drive into Brighton at all.
No. We're out in the country. It's an 84-acre farm.
Yeah, and there is like you say, you just take the right off Voorhees, and there is a sign that says VFW Farm that points down Voorhees, and then you go down maybe a quarter mile, and there's a very clearly marked VFW to Rock Road that goes off into the farm, as you say. There's a nice lake there.
Yes, there is.
And we've been talking about it in the last few years, because a lot of the festivals that were at the VFW and Cottage Hills, they wanted to do camping.
Yeah.
So they moved them out to the VFW Farm.
Bushfest moved out there, and then the Under the Stars ended up shifting out there at the last minute last year, and it went so well. going back again this year. So I believe Bush Fest and Under the Stars will both be out there this year.
Yep.
Along with open mic nights Sunday.
Yep. Every Sunday at the VFW Farm.
What time on Sunday?
3 to 6.
So that's 3 to 6 p.m. And again, when we say Brighton, man, it's really Godfrey kind of, but it's the Brighton VFW. But it's
a Brighton address. That's why.
Yeah. That's I live in Godfrey, but have an Alton address. It's zip code, the post office. That's big mail for you, controlling everything.
Well, that's just like I'm almost in Delhi, and I've got a Brighton address.
Yeah. It's
just like.
So you get to the end of Humbert and you turn right.
You don't even quite go to the end of Humbert.
No.
You're heading out.
It's not at that stop sign?
The end of Humbert is David Acres, and it's before that. So you go out past where Bakers and Hale and the old racetrack is, past Strawbey Lane that turns off there. You keep going.
Actually, the Strawbey Lane, once you get past that,
it's the
next
second right.
road to the right is, other than little subdivisions out there, is Voorhees.
Yeah, there's a Norfolk, I think, that just goes into a subdivision, and then Voorhees is the second one after Strawbey Lane. Yeah. And again, it's
I'm still lost because the end of Humbert Road to me is on the opposite side of Bakers and Hale. That's like 67, 367. Right. Humbert Road goes past the little school.
Yeah, Humbert Road actually goes all the way up into Brighton.
Yeah, it goes all the way. Yeah, it goes past the.
Oh, you mean the little back road
it stops
thing?
And then it continues.
Yeah. But Mikey Norris lives. The Planet subdivision right there to the right.
Yeah, it goes right between the railroad tracks. And
I would never see Bakers in Hale if I drove there.
Yeah, you take the back roads to get there.
That's not the back road. That's Humbert Road.
Yeah. Oh, all right. I take the dirt road.
I go past your house.
Yeah, and you keep going.
You just keep going past the school.
Yep, and that's Humbert Road.
Skip that first road to the right. Go a little further.
Yep.
You might. I've done this before. Actually, go the wrong way up 255.
Well, you can take.
I accidentally ended up in Chicago.
And then I turned around. I came back the last time I went to Mikey's.
Yeah. So there you go. That and people who know open mic scenes understand what an open mic scene is. For those of you out there who have never been to one and been thinking about it, man, this is a great place. If you're just trying to learn your instrument but you want to play in front of people, it's a great place to get out and get a chance to do that. If you've got original music that you're wanting to kind of dabble out, get out there, that's a great place to get that out. Also a great place to meet other musicians to either, write songs with, jam with, to form a band with, maybe make sweet love to. I don't know.
But the next one, not until May 25th, taking a few weeks off for Mother's Day and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I'm taking, I'm taking Mother's Day off, and then on the 18th, I'm doing open mic up in Uncle Al's in Jersey.
Okay, yeah, I seen you were doing some up there.
Yeah, done on the 13th last month, 18th this month. So.
Uncle Al's, is that
Al Mosier.
Is that on sort of the backside there? There's two bars kind of by each other there. Yeah. It's been a while.
It's the one where you can't cross the tracks. That's what I always say.
What did they used to call the one? Almost Home, or
That was Howie and I can't remember. Shelley.
Yeah, almost home. Well, yeah, baby, I'm almost home, man. I'm getting close.
Played there a few times.
Another 6-pack, I'll be there.
Yeah.
A great thing to have happening, because open mics, again, a great way for people to meet other musicians, a great way to get your music out there, and always a good time. So people just show up. You got a PA set up for them to sing to?
PA set up. You want to plug in? It's mostly acoustic, guys bring their basses out there, and we've even had drum kits out there, and congas and bongos.
Nice.
Mandolin players, whatever you want to bring, it don't matter. We have fiddle players out there, dobro players, some of the guys from Outlaw Opry. They come up. We have a blast.
Nice. So I imagine you've been doing that indoors, through the winter, but does it move outdoors once it gets warmer? Or?
Thing of it is that they're doing theirs the same weekend or the same Sunday, so it's kind of like, trying to figure out.
Okay. I'm talking about the VFW.
Oh,
Actually.
okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I got lost too. I'm like, I don't know what we're talking about.
I forgot about the Uncle Al's one. For
Yeah,
me.
so at the VFW, as it warms up, do you move that open mic outside, or does because it seems like
nice
Be
days.
perfect.
yeah, absolutely out there, like under the pavilion where you can see the lake
Well, no, we don't go down there. We stay just right outside the bar.
right outside the bar where the
You
electricity.
don't want to get too far away from the
electricity
beer.
and where the drinks are.
And the drink. I was gonna say, and the drinks are nice and close.
You don't want to walk all the way up that hill to go get a beer.
That's nice. They don't have golf carts like you, Pigpen.
Oh man! So there
Any
you go.
excuse to get on the golf cart. He's ready.
Well, that is an idea.
Hey, I'm just trying to save my legs.
That's right.
I don't know what for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so man, there you go. That is
Yeah.
every Sunday out at the VFW, the open mic night hosted by Mr. Mark Rice.
Not every Sunday.
Not every Sunday. Not Mother's Day Sunday, and not the
the 18th.
Sunday
The 18th
after.
is Uncle Al's. So it's either Uncle Al's or it's at the VFW. And
Most of the time, this is just something they asked me to do. I've known Al and
yeah.
It's just a one-off where they just ask you to come up on this weekend and do it, and then you're going back to the VFW for the status
until
quo.
something
Right?
ever happened.
I
you know,
thought I had
somebody
seen
asked, so.
you did it like a few weeks ago at Uncle Al's. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Right.
Cool. So what
yeah.
else? What do we got going on
Well,
this?
first, I want to ask a question here. What branch of the service were you in?
Navy.
Navy? Hey, there we go. We're off to a good start here. All right, me too. Where were you stationed at?
San Diego.
San Diego? So you Westpac, did you get to go
yeah.
Pacific?
Yep.
Oh, we can talk about the Philippines.
Oh, yes, we could.
Okay.
Excited
Off air.
drive.
We'll have to wait.
All the scallywags have to stop listening at this point.
You ever play Smiles?
No, I don't think I ever have.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I
Okay,
do.
we'll leave that one for off the air, too.
Are you a shellback?
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
right on.
And, I'm thinking about that memorial because wasn't that Iwo Jima that they're...
You got me.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
Not a history guy.
Yeah. It seems like that's what I thought. We actually got to go to Iwo Jima when I was in... I think we were the first naval to go there.
Wow.
Because it's nothing but a landing strip. So there's nothing there. But we took Japanese World War II veterans because I was stationed out of Sasebo, Japan. And we took American World War II veterans back to Iwo Jima.
Oh, wow.
It was really wild to have them all on the ship, getting along,
Yeah.
And, pretty interesting. So I want to thank you for that, but I want to thank you even more for what you do to help support local musicians and artists, which is, what we're doing here. And by that, I mean, the open mics are one thing, but you're big about reposting people's events and sharing and, getting the word out for everybody. And that's so crucial. I don't know if people, a lot of people don't want to mess with it and that kind of thing, but it's so helpful.
Well, it's just
To
one of the things.
everybody.
I see it on there, so it's like, hey, share it.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Get it going, guys.
Hey.
You know.
So, I just want to thank you for doing that.
Well, not a problem. It's not, like I said, it's one of the things I love doing.
Well, we're going to do a little bit of that right now, and we'll talk about Friday night around the Riverbend and a couple of people that are doing a great job helping original music now, Everhart and Light. They're doing their singer-songwriter showcase, and this Friday night, a legend, not Matt Van Voort, but his buddy Matt Tall.
Yeah.
See, I got Matt Van Voort.
I heard that, man.
It's like
We get the
4 times I've
sponsorship
said
in there. I know. I know.
What a great plug.
The real stars of the show, Halpin and Matt Van Voort.
We're so
That's a
lucky.
good guy. They're all good guys.
Yeah, we're so lucky to have him as a sponsor all these years and supporting local music along with Halpin. And Matt Tall's been on the show several times, and his music's been played all over the world. And so exciting to see Matt Tall down there on Friday night. That's an 8 o'clock start.
That's at the Shea, Maryland, the Everhart and Light, songwriter showcase they're doing now on Friday. And next week they will be in to tell us more about that.
Yeah, exciting. Also going on Friday night, the Flock Food Truck Lot is starting to get the bands going again with Almost Dangerous kicking things off from 6 to 9 on Friday. We got Naked Soul and Crossroads at Fast Eddie. Naked Soul doing the 1:30, Crossroads at 7. The Owls out at the VFW until 11 o'clock, 7 to 11. On Friday night, Flipside doing Bakers and Hale and Godfrey, 7 to 11. John Steemack doing the Grip and Sip Golf in Cottage Hills from 7 to 10 on Friday night. We got Flip the Frog doing the Tri-County Rod and Gun Club in Brighton. That's farther away than the VFW Farm.
That is quite a bit farther.
So is Sunday's Main Street in Brighton, where James Tyler is going to be playing with special guest Matt Hall on Friday night at 8 o'clock. We got Bike Night with Anthony Beal at the Hog Pit from 6 to 9. In Grafton, Toxic Johnny doing the Grafton Pub from 7 to 11. The Psychedelic Symphony up at the Bloody Bucket Saloon this weekend from 7 to 10. I don't know if that's their first one up there this year, but it may be. Andrew Dahl doing George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville from 6 to 9. We got the Honky Tonk U tribute to Toby Keith down at the Mill on Friday night in Granite City, starting at 7 o'clock. Let's see here. Oh,
Honky Tonk You too.
Here's another one that's promoting. They're looking for bands. Paid bookings for established bands. Open mic bookings for up-and-comers. 618-709-7007. 618-709-7007. Ask for Gina. Be nice. This ain't Jenny. It's Gina. Big difference. Anyway,
Gina from the block.
She's from Route 66 Kickstand in Granite City. They're looking for action down there with some musicians.
Awesome.
And doing some open mics. So, Mark Rice.
Nice.
Sitting right
Mark
in front of you. Kenny McPeak. Kenny McPeak. Butch Moore. I can name them all.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I ain't got nothing else to do anyway.
We got Scott and Michelle doing Holiday Shores Marina Bar from 7 to 10 out there in Holiday Shores on Friday night. And let's see, Arena Rock Show at the Wild E at 8. Clueless doing backstage across the parking lot there in Edwardsville, and Rewind around the corner at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville from 6 to 9. The Lost Cause Duo doing the Chop House in Edwardsville. We're still trying to find out if you get a steak when you play the Chop House. I think you should.
I think they would have a lot of people beating their door down going, I want to play.
It's a Lost Cause Duo. There's two people.
That's two steaks.
Come on.
That's two steaks. So let's before we move on from that, let's pose this to Mr. Mark Rice. If you're like you play at a lot of places and they'll give you free drinks.
Yeah.
What would you prefer? A free drink or a free steak?
Oh, I'd have to go with depends on how many drinks.
Yeah, that's what we always say. It's like,
so we're going to do some math here on that. It's going to come down to the finances here. I get it. I'm a number guy. I get it.
Steak, beer.
depends on the night, too. You might be really hungry that night.
Yeah.
Well, look at it. You ought to get beer and steak.
I agree.
Now, there's a man I'd vote for right there. That's the kind of policy I get behind right there. Free beer and steak.
Can't be.
But that, and that's one of those things that, like as we talk to people, it's come up that back in the old days of the blues, musicians, as they would travel south from the Delta up to Chicago, they all looked forward to St. Louis because that's where you would not only get a meal, but you get paid. Usually, you're just getting the meal at the best, but they know they're going to actually get fed and get taken care of because there was enough people in St. Louis that would actually pay them. And so when you're on the road, that especially if you're trying to live off of this sort of thing, a free burrito means so much. For a free piece of pizza. And a lot of people don't even, they didn't even cross their mind that, hey, Chop House, how about a free? No, I'm just messing with a Chop House at this point because I want a free steak. That has been something we've been talking about for a minute here, though, like free food versus the free beer. I like your outlook that it comes down to a financial. We're going to crunch some numbers here. How many free drinks am I getting? How much that steak costs? All right.
The other side of that for people who may have never performed and don't know it, that if you're getting free beer and free food, you're probably not getting paid.
You have been paid in beer and food.
The bonus is when you get paid.
Right. They gave me gas money too.
Right. I can't believe it.
I broke even on this night. This is the most amazing night ever.
We talk about it all the time on here, the sacrifices musicians made, and mainly the biggest one is when it's time for a benefit and we're going to raise some money. These guys will be volunteering left and right to come out and be the entertainment and help you raise that money. And that's why local music is so important. Just one of the reasons.
It's one of the reasons. And for anyone who's like, well, I've never had a benefit, I don't care if you got insurance or not. In this day and age, even if you have insurance, you need a benefit.
Right. Somebody will probably.
I
do a lot of benefits, and I really enjoy them.
I do
because
too.
it's helping.
Well, it's not. No, that's just a way to give back. I mean, I don't have money, but here, let me help you.
Right. Yeah.
So we can raise some.
It's that, and the bonus for the musicians is more people turn up at those benefits normally, so you get a little crowd to play in front of, that's a big reason bands like to do that. I mean, for their side of it. But the main reason is, and we've talked about this many times, when you leave a benefit and you just raised like $40,000 for somebody, and that's not exaggerating.
No,
that makes you feel good.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely makes you feel good, and then you wonder, well, how could I make some money? I mean, the $40,000. If I could just get $100 when I play. Just kidding, but
all right. Now we get down to the Bernie Worrell question. I'll pay $100 tonight or $1,000 next week for the same show.
I'll take a steak.
I'll take a steak. I plead the fifth of Jack Daniels.
Beer and a steak, please.
Wrapping up Friday night, though, the Fleetwood family at the cabin at Judy Creek on Friday night. So Graham Pagano going to be at Bossa Nova's on Saturday from 7 to 10. And good to see Graham going to be right here in Alton.
Yeah,
for a show,
and that's not Friday. Okay, we skipped
Saturday.
I'm sorry.
I kind of went down the list there because
Well, I was looking.
I had a mistake on there, so I scratched that one out, and then Poor Dirty Astronauts was the next one.
That was the one I was going back. Like we didn't say Poor Dirty Astronauts, and you know how much I love to say Poor Dirty Astronauts.
Well, I was trying to get you to the next page so you could say who's playing at Cat Daddy's, because I'm starting to think this is a really good name too.
Well, first let me just finish. Poor Dirty Astronauts Friday night, 6 to 9. Mascuda what? Steakhouse.
Right.
They're going to get free steaks, hopefully. Anyway, all right. So where were you trying to push me to?
Flip the page and get to your next Saturday listing and tell me who is playing at Cat Daddy's on Saturday from 7 until 10.
Well, I must have my pages out of order because I don't see no Cat Daddy's.
Oh, man. You just slipped right past it, did you?
Maybe.
Okay, well, after Graham Pagano, you should be going to...
Graham Pagano, and then
it should start with Shea Maryland, which is blank. Yeah, that's it. That's a band.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I thought someone was playing at the Waffle House. I was like, man, they got music at the Waffle House. That's pretty awesome.
Try again.
It's the Waffle House Fight Club. It's playing at Cat Daddy's. Okay. Ooh, I just saw Waffle House. I'm like, that is interesting, man. I'm gonna get some waffles and watch some music. So there you go, Waffle House Fight Club. So a lot of people don't know it, but the Waffle House, there's a lot of fights going on.
Is that the same Waffle House?
Yeah. People fighting over waffles, waffles. I don't know.
Bacon. It's always bacon.
I thought you weren't supposed to mention Fight Club.
Well, first rule about Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club. Second rule about Fight Club, no outside food and drink. No, we're trying to make a living here, boys. We got to sell something. All right.
Also going on Saturday night, Lonesome Blues going to be playing at the conservatory from 6 until 11. I think that's like an anniversary show for him.
So for For Darius. Lonesome
Right.
Blues, yeah. Cool. That is at the Conservatory, 6 to 11. Real quick, to go back to the Waffle House Fight Club. I don't know if we even, you did say Cat Daddies. But
Yeah,
that's
about 8 times.
Yeah, okay. That's 7 to 10 at Cat Daddies. I didn't know.
You wanted to change it to the Waffle House. There's not even one in Alton, so I don't know what you're
I don't know, but if they had music at a Waffle House, I'd probably go.
I'd be interested.
How about this? She'll be right back.
Oh, you want to bring up the drag show?
Shelby. Yeah, Shelby.
Yeah.
Right back. She'll be right back.
So
And company. That's 10 p.m. at Bubby's and Sissy's in Alton on Saturday evening.
So I want to bring up that was posted like several weeks ago. That normally that's what happens at Bubby and Sissy's, but they changed it up.
Okay.
So don't hold us to that one. But we know what happens at Bubby's and Sissy's.
Yeah.
It's a legendary club in our
area. It might
area.
not be She'll Be Right Back. It could be Count Dragula and the Hickeys. No,
That's right.
That was a drag band I was in the 70s.
The waffle whippers might be there. Who knows? But yeah, they've been having drag shows forever.
Yes.
Out of Bubby and Sissy's. And we talked earlier about how they're now looking for bands.
Yeah.
So that's going to be hopping down there.
And if you get the She'll Be Right Back or any of them to race each other, it becomes a drag race.
Yes.
Bug out.
And we
Drag
actually
races are good.
we actually seen an event where they did that.
Race, yeah.
They had the drag queens race so they could call it drag racing.
No, that's a good.
So
Yeah. And
I was ready to go see that in high heels. Are you kidding me?
It's got to be good entertainment.
just watch your P's and Q's. They're not all drag queens. They're just some of them are drag people. No, I don't know.
Well, maybe.
I don't know. I'm just having a good time, people. What else we got going on Saturday?
I didn't get it, so I don't know.
I
what you're
don't know
talking about.
either. I over my head, my own jokes.
I'm hungry for waffles, though. I really would like a waffle. I can't eat them,
I
but
do want a waffle. Is this a throwing waffle or an eating waffle?
How about a number 4 combo? We could have one of those at the VFW on
If
Saturday.
you get a number 4 combo at the Waffle House, that's like a waffle, a pancake. No.
Bacon eggs.
Number 4 combo at the VFW in Alton.
On
That's Saturday, 7 to 11 p.m.
Naked Soul and Twisted Road at Fast Eddie's Naked Soul 130 Twisted Road 7 to 11. And then Agent 99, Maxwell Smart's girl, right? Agent 99.
Right?
7 to 10 at Baker's and Hale on Saturday.
Would you believe 7 to 11? No.
Would you believe Porch Cafe?
I would believe Porch Cafe.
The
Would you
nephew
believe
of
Stoop Coffee? No.
Mark Rice, Preston, will be playing at the franchise
Nice.
in Wood River. We talked about that. I think it was last week. Did you ever figure out if it was last week?
It was in the near past. But yeah, if you haven't seen Porch Cafe, I would suggest that you get out and see them.
They're really good, man.
Oh man,
You know who else is playing down in Wood River? Spilly Nelson.
well there you
7
go.
to 11
Yeah.
Chico's.
You know what? I say we have Spilly Nelson versus Porch Cafe in a Thunderdome situation.
Oh.
2 bands enter
You
one
know, they
band.
just hug each other to death. They're so nice.
Yeah, I was
They
gonna
would,
say,
wouldn't they?
I could totally see that.
Audio Distilled happening this weekend. Guess who's playing out at the Blue Stem Distillery in Meadowbrook?
We got the Triple S.
That's right, Triple S.
Sarah Springman Shoemake.
That's
Or
right.
Shumaki. It's as they said in the old country.
Right.
Last week you ripped off a Spinal Tap joke. You want to try to rip one off again this week?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
You didn't admit to it, but
I have no idea which one I ripped off, but I ripped Spinal Tap off a lot.
you did. How about Up to 11 for a band name?
Nice.
Right? They're playing at Red's Tavern and Sage House in Bunker Hill. What a weekend for Reds.
Oh,
up there.
they
They got the car show tonight,
yeah.
and then Up to 11.
This one goes to 11.
That's right. Speaking of Brighton, Tracy Inman Band, Tri-County Rod and Gun Club Saturday night from 7 to 11. Ran into him at Walmart. Right. So, I mean, he's a legend. You can get on the jukebox, but he still shops at Walmart.
Well, I mean,
He's keeping it grounded. Way to go, Tracy.
Right.
We give him a hard time. We know him. So, hey, like the Blues Festival is happening, I'm pretty sure this weekend.
Okay.
But I noticed one venue isn't having it till next weekend. So I don't know if they got the memo or not. But yeah, this has been slightly confusing to me. So we're going to talk about that because Jeremiah Johnson is going to be there. So that makes me feel like a blues festival is happening in Grafton. And this was on the Enjoy Grafton page where they were talking about the Blues Festival. I forgot to mention Cree Riders at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville on Saturday, so I want to do that real quick. But we got Jeremiah Johnson, 3 o'clock at the Hog Pit, Garden Party 4 to 7 at the Grafton Winery and Brew House, and Yacht Rockers 3 to 7 at the Loading Dock in Grafton, Jim Mager 2 to 6 at Aries in Grafton, Mojo Universe from noon to 4, and then Blue Moon Band from 6 to 10 at Grafton Pub. At that point, I want to pass it on to Mark Rice. What can you tell us about the Blue Moon Band? I seen you posted something.
I don't really know a whole lot about it, honestly. Yeah, like I said, I saw that and I was like, I wonder who these guys are.
I would
that's a great guy.
And I was just like, wow, I'm going to go check him out.
Yeah.
Well, that other guy we already talked about that's on this list.
Matt Tall.
Yeah. And he's going to be at the Bloody Bucket Saloon from 7 to 10, then Carrie Lee 1 to 5 at Third Shoot in Grafton. So that's the Blues Festival, listed as the Blues Festival.
And what's happening, and there's someone next week that
I'm pretty sure it's Aries, if I remember correctly. They're waiting a week.
They're a week behind.
Either that or they didn't get the memo, and they're going to realize this weekend when... I don't know how that happened, but things happen when you set up shows and festivals.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's hard to keep it all straight. But there you go. That's a nice lineup there for Grafton on Saturday night, man. Plenty to do there. All kind of walking distance from each other, too. So, man,
time to play Guess the Tribute Band.
Guess the what?
The Tribute Band.
Okay.
Slow Ride.
Well, that's
Slow Ride.
That's an easy Fog Hat. Yeah.
Fog Hat Tribute Band. The Nightmare.
I would have to go with Cooper on that one. Alice Cooper on that one.
Yeah. Well, you actually read it already, but
I don't pre-read anything. You should know that by now. I haven't pre-read anything I've ever read on the radio.
For some reason, the look in his eye, I'm feeling lie on this one. There's fake news.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Anyways, that's 7 o'clock at the Mill in Granite City, so you get some Slow Ride, Fog Hat Tribute, and The Nightmare, Alice Cooper. They played at the with Torchlight Parade at the St. Baldrick's benefit.
Right. Yeah.
Nightmare. So good to see them on this side of the river. Yeah. Also down in Granite, Just Breathe, 7 to 11 at Bendy's in Granite City. Don't think Bendy's serves steak, but they obviously serve air. Just breathe.
What are you going to do tonight? Just breathe.
So maybe Pink Floyd, I'm feeling, for
Maybe.
Just Breathe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
New name to the list. So a little known fact, going to be out there at Marina Bar in Edwardsville on Saturday from 6 to 10, and another night of the Arena Rock Show at the Wild E in Edwardsville. Brewtopia at Backstage in Edwardsville from 9 p.m. until 1 a.m. Mayfest, spelled with an I, with St. Louis Express Band from 1 to 4. And it's kind of like a German fest, but it's in May, is how they promoted it. So they're having Worst Barbarian Band. Is that how you say it? Worst?
The worst barbarian.
W-U-R-S-T.
Like a bratwurst, but
right.
We are the worst barbarian. Man, that is great.
6 to 9 at Sneaky's. At Sneaky's in Edwardsville. I've been wanting to check Sneaky's out. It's a burger bar.
So do they get free burgers? That's the question.
Now, see, that's something you could slide to somebody.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Worst Barbarian Band just brings their own bratwurst, hands them out, kind of like
it's a family
luggage.
show. We can't talk about that.
Right. Lanny and Julie's doing a double header. They're going to do the Foundry from 2 to 5, and then they're going to go next door and do Big Daddy's from 6 to 9.
busy.
I've seen them do that before. That's a smart move there.
Yeah. Because then they can get a steak at one and drinks at the other.
So, Skylark Brothers.
That might be it on that one.
Skylark Brothers are playing for tacos this weekend.
Nice. Okay.
Maybe burritos. I don't know how far they go with their food at La Fiestas in Edwardsville. 6 to 9, Skylark Brothers. Strings and Keys at Lyle's Tavern in Maryville on Saturday, and Blackwater Acoustics at Cabin at Judy Creek, 7 to 11 on Saturday. We'll flip the page and bring up Butch Moore at Mississippi Culture in Staunton, because we love guys that do open mics like Mark Rice does. And you can catch his next open mic at Uncle Al's on May 18th in Jerseyville, and then May 25th back to the VFW Park in Godfrey / Brighton, so we don't scare you too far away, right?
Well, I'm a traveler, but some nights I can only stagger so far. Right? So I like it to be within staggering distance.
So yeah,
I think that's the
VFW
reason a lot of them
Farm.
have campers out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Staggering
Yeah,
distance.
just roll me over, put me in that wheelbarrow, and take me back to my camper.
So,
So they're also having Tucker Fest
Okay.
in Eldred on Saturday, and look at this lineup.
Okay.
We got Flipside, Flip the Frog.
Wow.
A lot of flipping
going on, right?
We got the Tucker's All-Star Band,
All right.
and then we got Toxic Johnny wrapping it up
Look
at
at
10
that.
o'clock.
yeah.
Man, that's a lot going on in
You know
Elton.
anything about that, Mark?
Just what I've seen on Facebook.
Yeah.
I know a lot of those guys.
Yeah, me too. I was like, man, look at that list.
That's a great lineup.
That
It's
is.
This will be fun.
Yeah. And
I think-
that's the most action Eldred, Illinois seen in years.
you.
Yeah, since the flood.
Right.
There's a lot of flipping going on.
Yeah. And he's talking about the flood of 1823.
When the river flowed backwards.
There you go.
So there's
man.
a Saturday for you.
Man, that is a lot going on.
Yes, it is.
In our area. So anybody who says there's nothing going on, just shut it.
They got their eyes closed,
bloody-
ears closed. They ain't hearing nothing if they say that.
Right. You're not paying attention. You're
None
just not paying
whatsoever.
attention.
Okay, Mark, besides supporting local music and, playing occasionally, you said you used to do solo shows. Do you still do some solo shows here and there?
Here and there, yeah.
Yeah?
Play parties and like somebody wants me to come out and play, sure. Yeah.
We used to call it
We
playing.
love play 'em.
When we play like the campfires, we call it playing coon tunes. That's what Homer'd call it, remember? Yeah. We'll be playing some coon tunes around the fire.
Well, I got a raccoon in an attic right now, and I tell you what, those they look like
I
little
know.
robbers, and they make you so angry because they're robbing me by being there and not giving me a check for rent at the end of the month. A little raccoon check would be nice at this
Right.
point. It is seriously hard to get rid of a raccoon. I've been dealing with it for a minute, man.
Yeah, I heard a story Pat Howard told. They were camping one night, and these raccoons were messing with them, kept getting into their stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they had those giant water guns. What do they call them things? Like
Super
super
soakers,
soaker,
yeah.
right? And like they'd chase them off with that. Well, the raccoons figured out how far that gun could go,
And they'd stay-
and they'd just stay on the perimeter and like stalk them.
Oh man, they're mischievous.
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
It's some stupid thumbs. If they didn't have thumbs, it would be so much easier to take care of them.
Hey, Mark, you ever get over to the Stagger Inn and do their Sunday night open mic?
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's a legendary one, Butch Moore.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
whoever subs for him, because like he doesn't do it every week, but
Right.
they do it Wednesday night too as well.
I think that's the acoustic thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
There you go. So Mark Rice is our guest this evening, and talking to him about a couple of things coming up, mainly his VFW open mic, which is almost every Sunday. Next 2 Sundays on hold.
Yeah.
Next Sunday, or this Sunday's Mother's Day. Next Sunday after that, you're at Uncle Al's up in Jerseyville, then back home to the VFW for the Sunday open mic, but also the World War II vet memorial, the Veterans Memorial. You're doing a fundraiser
Right.
for that. Again, where's that at? The American Legion?
American Legion, right.
in Grafton on June 6th. What time does that one start?
We're playing, let's see, 4:30 to 7:30, and then Jake Weber, they're starting 7:30 to 9:30. So.
4:30. So the music's going to be going, little after 4 till late in the evening. It sounds like.
Right.
Any other festivities happening that you know of? Is it just the music? Sometimes they'll have also some vendors and stuff and those
until
things.
This fall, we've got. I'll be playing Bush Fest again. I've played that for the last 3
Right.
years. Plus, we're on sound up there, and then we'll probably have the benefit out there at Uncle Al's again. It's usually a benefit in the car show.
And what's that a benefit for?
It's just basically where they just have a fundraiser and raise money and for somebody that needs it.
Nice,
somebody
nice.
Happens, and
Right.
like one time this gal lost her child, and we raised a bunch of money for her and the family and stuff, stuff like that.
They every year they just pick someone. So actually, if I remember right, like just kind of across those across those tracks, there used to be an angel from those bars. There was an angel. What do they call it? It was a place that in Jerseyville that raises money and for local people. I can't remember what they called it now.
They've got one that's
Angel's Wings, or I can't remember what it was. Something like that. But they used to be out on the main road, and I saw that they had moved back in that little neighborhood where
they may have. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of forget about that kind of stuff, and that's so cool. Whenever a community says, "Let's take care of our own. Let's
Right.
do some fundraising, and then let's find who needs it. Who in this town needs some help."
Right.
So that's really cool. So Uncle Al's does an annual one, and then they just kind of, depending on what's happening in the area,
Right.
if there's been a car accident or been anything, that they find that person, and that's pretty cool. Good for Uncle Al.
So is it fair to say that most Sundays throughout the summer you'll be doing the open mic out there at the VFW Farm?
Be fair to say.
Yeah, except for when you got something else going on a Sunday.
Except when I'm
There's
busy.
something else going on. But there's not too many of them. So.
Yeah, and really the only way I've seen to find out about it is from your personal Facebook page. Can people look you up on Facebook? Or would you rather?
I just post it out there and just put it out there. Like the bartenders, they put it out there.
Yeah.
Main honcho, he puts stuff out there too. So
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for it.
VFW site that they use for that, I really don't know.
Okay, yeah. Most of the time I see it, it's on your personal page is where I find it.
Yeah.
And I find that with a lot of bands. The bands are great about putting their gigs on, but that doesn't necessarily mean the venue's going to post what your gig is.
You got that right.
That's right.
That's
Because
what
they're
it is.
like, man, we're going to have to serve them steak and everything else when they get here.
Some of it seems like it's a competition. It's like it ain't a competition. There's money out there.
Yeah. I mean,
no big
listen,
deal.
look at this list we just went through.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places to play.
No,
And we
Plenty
were,
of
we
places
were kind of
having
going over
music.
skipping some of them too.
Oh, yeah.
You were kind of hit and miss on a few of them because we got so many of them. There's pages and pages.
If
Right.
you notice, when I leave it open and it just has a venue there, they haven't posted what's happening yet. And they might not post until an hour or two before it happens.
right.
But if you're close and you wonder if they're got it, you just click on there and see if maybe they added something. So I just leave the links there because I go back through and try to update them.
Nice.
And we'll just see what happens after that. But
Plenty happening, that is for sure. Plenty happening with Mr. Mark Rice with his the open mics almost every Sunday up at the VFW Farm.
next one, May 25th.
Yep, and again, thanks so much for not only your service, but for doing the fundraising for the memorial that they're going to make up in Grafton.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We get to talk out off air after this.
What's that?
Me and Mark get to talk about LBFMs after the show.
All right. I'm not invited. I could tell by the way you said me and Mark. I was like, oh, I guess I'm uninvited right there.
You'd just be standing there going,
I'm going to sit on the curb and wait for my ride quietly.
you'd just be standing there going, all these stories you told me are true. Even Mark says that's true.
Yeah,
I guarantee Mark's run into the same thing. You tell stories about what you've seen overseas.
Buy me an air-conditioned helicopter.
That's one of my true stories.
There you go. Hey, well, thanks, Mark. Thanks for coming down and talking
If you
to
don't
us.
mind, I'd like to mention one other thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of
absolutely.
an open mic. It's an open jam we do every Thursday, and
Oh,
that's
wow.
out at Lake Westside in Jerseyville. It's a place called Bullshoot Bar and Grill.
Okay, say it. It's a Bullshoot Bar and Grill in Jerseyville. Where in Jerseyville is
It's on the
that?
west side of town. It's past the hospital.
Okay.
On County Line Road.
Okay, I know where County Line Road is.
Okay, you know
out
where the
there,
lake is out there?
Yeah.
Or the trailer park and all that
So
out
there's
there?
a bar out there.
Yeah, it's called
Man,
the Bullshoot Bar and Grill.
Okay.
So that's happening tonight?
It happened today. It's from normal from like 2 to 6.
Okay. Afternoon.
Oh, okay. There you go. 2 to 6 p.m. and that is an open jam.
Right.
You said, as opposed to an open mic, so it's more encouraging towards
It's basically everybody gets together and just plays.
everybody. Just gets
And
up
just
there.
take turns just going around the
That's
circle.
Now, you bring your own guitar, your own
Yeah.
amp. Just bring your gear.
Well, it's mostly acoustic.
Oh, it's mostly acoustic. There you go. Okay, so there you go.
There's an upright bass and dobro, mandolins, fiddles, there's all kinds of stuff. It's really cool.
That's
you see
awesome.
some really cool bluegrass stuff going on up there.
The Bull.
Shoot.
Shoot.
Bar
Okay, I had to
Grill.
say it slow.
Say it
I had to
slow.
say it slow. I didn't want to get tongue tied there. The Bullshoot Bar and Grill. Okay, there you go. That's a new one. A new mention on this show there. So, well, hey, thanks again, man. Sunday nights at the VFW in Brighton. Thursday nights at the Bullshoot Bar and Grill in Jerseyville.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
2 to 6. So there you go. Man, thanks so much. Always good to catch up with you, buddy.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah.
Always good to see you.
Yeah, big thanks to our sponsors, Halpin Music Company and Matt Van Boris of Macias Insurance. Everybody, get out to one of these open mics, get out to one of these gigs, whatever you do, just get out and support local music and art.